I'll chop off yours.
Ralph, this is not a funny joke.
Now, long before streaming services and binge-watching were even a thing, Halloween night on television felt like a major event. It was that one time of year when families would gather around the TV, fiddling with the rabbit ears, ready for their annual dose of spooky, silly, and sometimes genuinely scary entertainment. It was a shared experience, a cultural touchstone that basically defined the season for a whole generation. So, join us as we travel back to the 70s to revisit the most iconic Halloween episodes from the shows you grew up with. From haunted houses in Milwaukee to groovy ghoul get-togethers, these are the TV moments that made our Halloweens unforgettable. Happy Days Haunted, 1974. Remember when a Halloween episode was something you actually looked forward to all week? Our first stop takes us to 1950s Milwaukee, by way of 1974. Happy Days was the king of wholesome primetime TV, but in its second season, it gave us an episode that was pure Halloween gold. Titled Haunted, it aired on October the 29th, 1974, and just perfectly captured the teenage thrill of a good old-fashioned scare. Now it all starts with a classic sitcom scheme. Ralph Malph, always the opportunist, decides to throw his Halloween party at the old Simpson house.
I'm telling you, this is gonna be the best Halloween party I've ever thrown. You always throw a good party, Ralph.
An abandoned home rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who lost her head. His logic is simple. If the girls get scared, they'll need someone to comfort them. He talks a reluctant Richie Cunningham into checking out the house first to make sure it's spooky enough. What happens next is just a charming example of building low-stakes tension. Richie, along with his wisecracking little sister Joni, investigates the creepy old house. After a bunch of creaks, spooky noises, and one genuinely startling moment where Richie thinks he sees a headless body in a closet, he is completely freaked out.
Richie, what happened?
Oh, nothing.
His dad, Howard, just brushes it off as his mind playing tricks. Fonzie, in a brief but memorable appearance, gives Richie his classic advice. You've got to face your fears to overcome them. This was early in the show's run, way before Fonzie was a national phenomenon. But that cool-as-a-cucumber attitude in the face of the supernatural was already there. The party itself is a perfect time capsule. Richie and his date show up to a dark, quiet house, only for everyone to jump out and reveal the first scares were all just a prank. The real fun starts when a rival greaser gang, the Demons, crashes the party, with one member dressed as a truly frightening headless figure that sends everyone running. In a great moment of bravery, Richie confronts the ghost, only to unmask the party crasher. Haunted is just pure 70s Halloween. You've got the cheesy decorations, a plot driven by teenage hijinks, and a gentle spookiness that never gets truly terrifying. It perfectly balances the scares with the humor and heart that made Happy Days such a classic. Halloween with the New Addams Family, 1977. Of course, you can't talk Halloween without mentioning the one family that made every single day feel like Halloween. While the original Addams Family series was a 60s classic, the cast reunited for a groovy, colourful, and completely bizarre TV movie in 1977. Titled Halloween with the New Addams Family, this special premiered on October 30th, 1977, bringing almost the entire original cast back together. The movie was a 74-minute-long trip back into the macabre world of Gomez, Morticia, and their delightfully strange family. The plot is wonderfully complicated in the best Addams Family way. Gomez, played by the irreplaceable John Astin, gets tricked into going to a fake lodge convention by crooks who have bugged the house to steal the family fortune. At the same time, Gomez's brother Pancho is visiting and stirring up a little romantic tension, since he once had a thing for Morticia.
Goodbye, dear brother. Adiosito. I'll take care of everything.
The crooks, led by a villain named Bones Lafferty, even hire actors to pose as Gomez and Morticia to try and fool everyone. But as you can probably guess, trying to out-weird the Addams Family is a terrible idea. The special is packed with all the classic gags we love. You've got Pugsley, who's older and back from Nairobi where he's training to be a witch doctor. Wednesday, also older, can shatter glass with her piccolo. And of course, Lurch, Uncle Fester, and Grandmama are all there, adding to the wonderful chaos. The burglars who sneak in during the family's Halloween party are met not with screams, but with the family's unique brand of hospitality, which is way more terrifying. Seeing the original cast, including Carolyn Jones, John Astin, and Jackie Coogan, back in their iconic roles was a huge treat for fans. It was a chance to see them in full colour, which was a big change from the black and white gothic style of the original show. The special was a perfect mix of spooky and silly, reminding everyone why this family is still a Halloween staple. The Waltons, The Ghost Story, 1974. Our next stop takes us to the Waltons Mountain for a Halloween episode that favoured atmospheric chills over outright comedy. In 1974, the Waltons delivered The Ghost Story, an episode that traded slapstick for supernatural suggestion and family warmth. The story begins when John Boy brings home a spirit board, what we call a Ouija board, from Ike's store. The family is looking after a young boy named Luke while his father is away, and the board seems to have a message specifically for him. While Grandma and Olivia are wary of the board, John Boy, ever the curious writer, becomes fascinated with the possibility of communicating with the spirit world. The episode, directed by John Walton himself, Ralph Waite, masterfully builds a creepy and uncertain mood. As Jason and John Boy consult the board in secret, it spells out a warning that Luke should not take his planned train trip. This is followed by a series of strange occurrences. Luke's photo of his deceased mother disappears, and his train ticket goes missing.
Did you take the ticket off here?
No, Ma'am. I didn't touch it.
Well, I was sure I pinned it here this morning.
The climax reveals a touching rather than terrifying twist. A series of mishaps causes the family to miss the train, which they later hear on the radio has derailed. They realize the strange events, which they attribute to the ghost of Luke's mother, saved his life. The Ghost Story is a perfect example of what made the Waltons special, using a spooky premise to explore faith, family bonds, and the mysteries of love and loss. The Brady Bunch, Fright Night, 1972. Is there anything more wholesome than a Brady family Halloween? In 1972, the Brady Bunch delivered a classic prank-filled episode titled Fright Night. This installment perfectly captures that childhood thrill of trying to scare your siblings and the hilarious consequences when things go just a little too far. It all starts when the Brady boys decide to play a trick on the girls, rigging up a fake ghost in the attic to spook Jan and Cindy. After the girls get wise to the prank, they decide to get even. Their plan involves luring the boys back into the haunted attic for an overnight stay, complete with their own spooky effects, like a floating cellophane ghost and a creepy voice coming from a tape recorder.
I must ride and walk tonight.
The escalating prank war is pure Brady fun, with both sides trying to outscare the other. Of course, Mike and Carol are one step ahead of them the whole time, but they let the kids' plots play out. The real climax comes when the kids decide to team up to pull one last prank on their unsuspecting housekeeper, Alice. But their timing is off, and they end up scaring their parents instead. In the chaos, Alice arrives home, thinks a bust of Mike's head is a burglar, and smashes it. The kids learn a gentle lesson about taking pranks too far, and everyone shares a laugh. Fright Night is quintessential 70s family television. It's all about low-stakes fun, goofy costumes, and the loving chaos of a big family. It wasn't about being truly scary, but about the fun of a good, clean Halloween scare. From sitcoms to specials, the 1970s gave us some truly unforgettable Halloween television. These shows weren't just about scares. They were about having fun and sharing in the magic of the season. They became a part of our traditions and have stuck with us all these years. What was one of your favorite Halloween specials growing up? Was there a 70s episode we missed that you absolutely love? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more nostalgic content. We love digging through the archives to bring back these classic TV moments. Thanks for watching, and have a happy and spooky Halloween season.